KORK North Bay, your source for news and happenings throughout the North Bay.
Hello and thanks for watching KORK North Bay TV. Coming up is our weekly wrap covering all the news stories and happenings that took place this past week throughout the greater San Francisco North Bay. In Santa Rosa on Tuesday, just before 1:30 in the afternoon, about 15 kids who were playing at the school field at J.X. Wilson Elementary School were met by a masked teenager who showed up and started making threats to harm the kids, including showing up the next day to stab them, which would have been the first day of school for the kids. According to one parent who commented about the incident, her 8-year-old child was directly threatened to be stabbed, among others. Police released an image of the person and asked for the public's help in identifying him. The kids in the park were attending a school summer program. 2 of the school officials at the scene asked that kid to leave, but he wouldn't. One of the officials said she saw the handle of what appeared to be a kitchen knife sticking out of the kid's front pants pocket. The school officials told the suspect that the police were called, so he hopped on his black scooter and took off, but not before threatening to return and stab people the next day. The school officials moved the kids from the field to a classroom, and the school was placed on lockdown. When police arrived, the suspect was gone, so they began searching the area, including using a drone, but they weren't able to find him. Even though the suspect appeared to be a minor, his picture was released due to the severity of the deadly threats that he made in hopes that someone might recognize his eyes, and a lot of leads came in from people who believe they recognized that kid. Thanks to those leads, a little more than 24 hours later on the next evening, the Santa Rosa Police Department announced that they were able to identify the suspect as a 13-year-old boy who they arrested at his home at 9:15 that evening. Because the suspect is a juvenile, no details about his name or anything else were released. In Marin County during the wee hours of Thursday at about 2 o'clock in the morning, a Marin County Sheriff's deputy was traveling southbound on Highway 101 up the Waldo Grade and spotted a Cadillac speeding up the highway near the Spencer Avenue exit, so he hit his lights to pull the guy over. But instead of pulling over, this guy decided to flip a U-turn and head back down the hill, heading northbound into southbound lanes in an attempt to get away from the deputy. Because this move was so stupid and dangerous, the deputy decided not to pursue the guy in hopes that once he realized that he wasn't being chased, he'd turn around again and stop putting the lives of everyone else on the highway in severe danger. A bit later, that same Cadillac was spotted abandoned not too far away. And then at 6:15 that morning, people heading northbound on 101 in that area called to report that there was a man walking onto the northbound side of the highway just up the hill from Marin City, so deputies responded to the area. When they got close, the man spotted them and took off running into a nearby neighborhood, so a shelter-in-place alert went out to folks living in the area while the deputies searched for the guy. It didn't take long for them to find the guy hiding in a home construction site on Santa Rosa Avenue, so they moved in and took him into custody. The man was identified as 34-year-old John Russell Edwards, a resident of Ukiah, so he was given the walk of shame by 2 deputies to the Marin County Jail, where he was booked on charges of evading police, reckless driving, obstructing officers, and disorderly conduct. Oh, and did I mention that he also had 10, that's right, 10 outstanding arrest warrants from multiple other jurisdictions. Last Sunday in the western outskirts of Cotati, a tragic accident took place that injured a rider. No, I'm not talking about a motorcycle rider, but rather a horseback rider, and sadly, the horse was killed in this accident after a car hit them. This terrible incident took place at about 12:20 in the afternoon along Stony Point Road between Highway 116 and the Rohnert Park Expressway intersection when a woman riding a horse was crossing the road, so cars stopped to let her get across. But a 24-year-old man identified as Logan Loyhas, a resident of Sebastopol, was coming up from behind the stopped cars in a convertible BMW and decided it would be a great opportunity to pass the stopped cars by crossing over the double yellow line and speed past them, which is when he slammed into the woman and her horse as they were crossing the road. The impact caused the woman and her horse to go flying, which caused severe injuries to the woman's leg and fatal injuries to the horse as it lay dying in the road. 911 was called and first responders arrived, who transported the woman to Santa Rosa Memorial Hospital. Loyhas and his passenger only sustained minor injuries and remained at the scene. Unfortunately, there was nothing anyone could do for the horse who died at the scene. According to the CHP, the investigation is ongoing and charges will likely be coming for Mr. Loyhas. In Fairfield on Thursday last week, just a couple of minutes before noon, a bicyclist was riding along Air Base Parkway where the eastbound I-80 off-ramp meets the street and was struck by a Dodge Ram truck as it came off the freeway. Unfortunately, the impact was fatal for the bicycle rider, who was pronounced deceased at the scene. The Solano CHP is asking for witnesses who may have seen what had happened or who may have captured some dashcam footage of the incident to please call them at the Solano CHP office at 707-639-5600. In Suisun City on Wednesday, just before midnight, a fire broke out in a multi-family residence area on the 300 block of Solano Street and the 600 block of School Street. Calls began pouring into 911 about the fire due to the number of residential units in the area. The first ones at the scene were officers from the Suisun City Police Department, who immediately went door to door, waking people up and telling them to evacuate. A few short minutes after that, the firefighters showed up, but when they got there and saw the potential for the fire to spread to a number of units in the area, they immediately called for a second alarm and then a third alarm. In all, about 40 firefighters showed up at the scene to battle the flames and keep them from spreading to other units. At one end of a multifamily area, live wires were down, arcing and spitting, causing a deadly hazard for not just residents there, but for the firefighters as well, who were trying to work around them without getting zapped. So PG&E was called to come shut the power off and tend to the situation. After about an hour and a half of aggressively fighting the fire, they finally had it under control and contained to just 3 of the multifamily units, which displaced 8 families. The Red Cross will be helping those families with temporary shelter and other needs. Thankfully, only 1 minor injury was reported, and that person was treated and released at the scene. Plus, firefighters were able to rescue a cat and return it to its owner with no injury. The cause of the fire is under investigation, but a couple of witnesses at the scene say the fire started in a garage and spread to the dwellings, and that fireworks were heard going off just before the fire started. There's no official word on that, though. It's just what a few witnesses spoke about, so that's all part of the investigation. On Tuesday in the Lake County town of Lucerne, just before 8:30 in the morning, a car hit a propane tank in front of a home on East Highway 20, which set off a fire that then caught the house on fire. According to the report, the first unit at the scene were firefighters from Nice who began their attack on getting that fire under control, which already involved 2 garages, 2 vehicles, and a boat. Minutes later, more units arrived from Clear Lake Oaks, who are both members of the North Shore Fire Protection District. After almost an hour and a half of fighting the fire, it was finally under control by about 9:45 that morning. Thanks to the great work of these first responders, they were able to keep that fire contained to just these 2 structures and didn't allow it to spread to other homes in the area. Also, thankfully, no injuries were reported. This was yet another great job by our beloved first responders. Our friends at Rocket Dog Rescue are having a fundraiser that's being sponsored by Mountain Mike's Pizza at their Santa Rosa location at 3125 Cleveland Avenue, which is right on the corner of Cleveland Avenue and Russell Avenue on the north side of town, right off of Bicentennial Way. They're donating 20% of everything you purchase to Rocket Dog Rescue, which they use for their adoption shelter for food and medical care for the wonderful dogs that they take in for adoption. This fundraiser is for this Sunday and Monday only and runs from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. both days. So if you're a pet owner or you just love animals, this would be a great time to go out and have yourself a tasty pizza and some soft drinks while helping a great dog rescue facility. Last month, I got myself a new sidekick from Rocket Dog Rescue named Ollie, who's a Chiweenie, which is a cross between a Chihuahua and a Wiener dog. This is him doing his thing, running around, having a great time. Their adoption center made it super easy to get him, and the staff was super friendly. If you're looking for a great new family companion like I did, check out Rocket Dog Rescue at rocketdogrescue.org. That's rocketdogrescue.org. We hope to see you at the Cleveland Avenue Mountain Mike's location to have a bite of some tasty pizza while you're supporting a great cause. This broadcast is sponsored by Mike Larbury Automotive. 5-star ratings for all of your domestic and import automotive repair needs, located on Highway 12 in Sonoma. Mention you saw them here on KORK TV to receive a special discount. And also by Sonoma Paint Center, your source for all of your home and automotive paint and supply needs.
Transform your home or business with Sonoma Paint Center. As your local Benjamin Moore retailer, we've got everything you need to paint inside and out, plus top quality stains. Step inside our Santa Rosa location or visit us in Sonoma, Sebastopol, and now our newest location in Napa. From vibrant colors to durable finishes and required supplies, we'll help you bring your vision to life. Sonoma Paint Center, serving you in Santa Rosa, Sonoma, Sebastopol, and now Napa. Sonoma Paint Center, color your world.
Well, that's it for our weekly wrap. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We'll see you again on Monday for our weekend wrap. Remember, you can watch us on our website at KORKTV.com, or you can also watch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or on our new YouTube channel. In any of those platforms, just search for KORK North Bay TV and add our channel to your favorites. We'd sure appreciate it. We'd like to wish everyone a safe, healthy, and happy weekend. Thanks for watching.